After 30 years in the emergency room, I learned something most people never think about. Muscle loss after 60 does not explode overnight. It erodes quietly. I have seen strong men in their early 60s return 10 years later unable to lift what once felt easy. They did not stop caring. They did not stop drinking their morning coffee. But their routine never adapted to what their muscles actually needed. A few years ago, out of pure frustration, we began testing something simple. We looked at morning routines, specifically coffee. Over time, we evaluated adding more than 1,000 different compounds to that first cup. Amino acids, extracts, fats, minerals, adaptogens. Most did nothing meaningful for muscle signaling. Some even made things worse by raising stress hormones without supporting recovery. But out of all those combinations, only 5 consistently stood out. Only 5 actually help support the pathways that keep muscle tissue responsive after 60. Here is the part people misunderstand. After 60, your muscles are not just smaller. They are resistant. They require a stronger trigger to rebuild. Random protein later in the day is not enough. Occasional exercise is not enough. And plain coffee by itself is just stimulation without structure. That first intake in the morning sets the tone for blood flow, inflammation balance, and muscle activation for hours. In this video, we will reveal the 5 additions that actually made the difference, ranked from least powerful to most powerful, so you know exactly what deserves your attention. And wait until you hear about number 2. It was the last one we expected to work, yet it consistently changed firmness, recovery, and strength response in a way that even surprised us. I placed the supporting research and background details below for anyone who wants to see what guided these choices. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you right now? And do you drink coffee every single morning without fail? I genuinely read through your comments because your real-life experiences matter. Now, let's begin with number 5, the first compound that quietly primes your muscles for what comes next. Number 5, Ceylon cinnamon. Most people think of cinnamon as nothing more than a pleasant flavor for baked goods and holiday drinks. But what researchers have recently discovered about this ancient spice and its direct relationship to muscle health is genuinely remarkable, especially for anyone over the age of 60 who is concerned about maintaining their physical strength and independence. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that cinnamon supplementation significantly improved muscle recovery and reduced soreness markers after physical activity. And the biological mechanism behind this finding is what makes it so directly relevant to aging adults who are trying to maintain the muscle mass they still have. As you get older, your body gradually enters a state of chronic low-grade inflammation that scientists specifically call inflammaging. And this constant background inflammation that you cannot feel or see is actually one of the primary drivers of muscle breakdown and sarcopenia, which is the age-related loss of muscle mass and function that accelerates dramatically after the age of 60. Ceylon cinnamon, which is the true cinnamon variety and not the cheaper cassia version found in most grocery stores, contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called cinnamaldehyde and proanthocyanidins that directly target and interrupt the inflammatory pathways responsible for breaking down your precious muscle tissue day after day. Researchers at the University of Georgia found that cinnamon reduced muscle soreness by up to 25% and significantly lowered markers of oxidative stress that contribute to ongoing muscle cell damage over time, essentially giving your muscles breathing room to heal. What this means practically for your daily life is that adding Ceylon cinnamon to your morning coffee helps create an internal biochemical environment where your muscles can actually repair themselves and grow stronger instead of constantly fighting a losing battle against the chronic inflammation that comes naturally with aging. The best way to prepare this is to add half a teaspoon to 1 full teaspoon of organic Ceylon cinnamon powder directly into your coffee grounds before you start brewing, which allows the hot water to fully extract all of the beneficial compounds during the brewing process itself. Or alternatively, you can stir it into your finished cup of coffee and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes before drinking so that the active ingredients have time to dissolve properly into the hot liquid. Make sure you specifically look for the words Ceylon cinnamon printed on the label because cassia cinnamon contains dangerously high levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful to your liver when consumed in daily doses over extended periods. While Ceylon cinnamon has only trace amounts of coumarin, making it completely safe for everyday use over the long term without any concern. You want to be genuinely consistent with this, taking it daily with your morning coffee rather than just occasionally when you remember, because the anti-inflammatory benefits compound significantly over time, and researchers noted the most meaningful results in study subjects who maintained daily intake for a minimum of 8 continuous weeks. This one simple, affordable spice turns your regular coffee from a basic stimulant into a genuine inflammation-fighting muscle recovery drink. And that anti-inflammatory foundation is critically important for everything else we are about to stack on top of it. Now the next one takes things to a completely different level for your aging muscles. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Raw cacao powder. This is not the same as the hot chocolate mix you might have enjoyed as a kid. And understanding that critical difference is absolutely essential because raw cacao powder is one of the most nutrient-dense muscle-supporting foods that scientists have ever studied in detail. Researchers at the University of California, Davis found that the flavonols in raw cacao significantly improve blood flow and vascular function. And this is directly relevant to muscle health because your muscles depend entirely on steady blood flow to receive the oxygen, nutrients, and amino acids they desperately need to repair and grow after any physical activity. A landmark study published in the British Journal of Nutrition showed that cacao flavonols improved endothelial function by over 30% in older adults, meaning the inner lining of their blood vessels became dramatically better at dilating and delivering nutrient-rich blood directly to hungry muscle tissue throughout the body. Think of it this way: you could be eating all the right proteins and doing all the right exercises every single day, but if your blood cannot efficiently reach your muscles because your blood vessels have stiffened and narrowed with age, those nutrients simply never arrive where they are needed most and your muscles essentially starve despite your best efforts. Raw cacao directly solves this critical delivery problem by keeping your blood vessels flexible and responsive. It is also extraordinarily rich in magnesium, with a single tablespoon providing nearly 25% of your daily recommended intake. And magnesium is absolutely essential for proper muscle contraction, relaxation, and preventing those painful cramps and spasms that become increasingly common and disruptive after the age of 60. Researchers have also identified that a compound called epicatechin, found abundantly in raw cacao, activates a protein called follistatin, while simultaneously suppressing myostatin, which is the compound your body naturally produces that literally puts a cap on how much muscle you can build. And this discovery, published in the Journal of Physiology, was considered groundbreaking because it suggested a simple, affordable food could actually shift the molecular balance in favor of muscle growth. To get the maximum benefit from this addition, add 1 full tablespoon of raw organic cacao powder to your coffee immediately after brewing and stir it thoroughly until it is completely dissolved. And you can absolutely add it right alongside the Ceylon cinnamon from number 5 for a combined effect that actually tastes surprisingly rich and delicious together. Make sure the label specifically says raw cacao and not cocoa, because standard cocoa processing, called Dutch processing, destroys up to 90% of the beneficial flavonols through high-heat alkaline treatment, essentially stripping away everything that makes it genuinely valuable for your muscles and leaving you with little more than empty flavor and a brown color. You should also know that the benefits of raw cacao are dose-dependent, meaning the more consistently you consume it at the right amount, the greater the cumulative effect on your vascular health and muscle nutrient delivery over time. The powerful combination of improved blood flow, direct magnesium delivery, and natural myostatin suppression makes raw cacao one of the most underrated and underappreciated muscle-supporting additions you could ever put in your daily cup of coffee. But the next addition targets something even more fundamental about how your aging muscles produce and use energy. Number 3. MCT oil. Medium-chain triglycerides, Commonly known as MCT oil, might sound like something only hardcore fitness enthusiasts and young bodybuilders would ever care about, but the science showing its specific impact on aging muscles is so compelling that researchers are now designing studies specifically targeting older populations to understand the full extent of these benefits. A significant study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed MCT oil daily for 12 weeks gained significantly more muscle mass and functional strength compared to those consuming regular long-chain dietary fats. And the fascinating reason comes down to how uniquely and efficiently your body processes these specific types of fat molecules compared to ordinary fats. Unlike regular dietary fats that must go through a long, complicated digestive process involving bile salts and multiple enzymatic steps before eventually becoming available for energy, MCTs bypass almost all of that lengthy process entirely and travel directly to your liver where they are rapidly converted into ketones, which serve as an immediate and highly efficient alternative fuel source that your muscles can use right away without delay. This is particularly important after the age of 60 because aging muscles become increasingly resistant to using glucose effectively for energy production, a condition that researchers specifically call anabolic resistance. And this gradual metabolic shift means your muscles are essentially trying to run on a less and less efficient fuel source at the exact time in your life when they need more energy than ever to simply maintain themselves and resist the natural breakdown that comes with aging. MCT oil provides a powerful alternative energy pathway that your aging muscles can actually use with remarkable efficiency. And a study conducted at the University of Alberta showed that ketone availability from MCT consumption reduced muscle protein breakdown by up to 17% in older subjects, essentially putting the brakes on the rate at which your body was consuming its own muscle tissue just to meet basic daily energy demands. To properly add MCT oil to your morning coffee, start with just 1 teaspoon for the first full week because jumping in with too large a dose can cause temporary digestive discomfort as your body adjusts to this new fuel source, and then gradually increase to 1 full tablespoon over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. Pour the MCT oil into your warm coffee and stir vigorously for about 30 seconds. Or even better, use a small handheld milk frother to properly emulsify it so the oil blends completely into the coffee rather than floating on top in an unappetizing oily layer, because proper emulsification actually improves the rate of absorption in your digestive tract significantly. Always choose a high-quality MCT oil that specifies on the label it contains primarily C8 and C10 caprylic and capric acid, as these are the specific medium-chain lengths that convert to usable ketones most efficiently and deliver the greatest documented muscle-sparing benefits according to the published research. Your muscles are now getting powerful anti-inflammatory protection from the cinnamon, dramatically improved blood flow and nutrient delivery from the cacao, and premium clean-burning fuel from the MCT oil. And that combination alone is already transforming your morning coffee into something remarkable. And what comes next is something that most people over 60 are dangerously low in without even realizing it exists. Number 2, vitamin D3 drops. If there is one single nutrient deficiency that is silently destroying muscle mass in people over 60 at an alarming rate across the entire world right now, it is vitamin D, and the research connecting chronically low vitamin D levels to accelerated muscle loss and dangerous physical weakness is now so overwhelming that many leading scientists openly consider it a genuine public health crisis among older adults. A massive meta-analysis published in the journal Osteoporosis International that reviewed over 29 separate studies found that vitamin D supplementation significantly improved muscle strength and overall physical performance in adults over 60, with the most dramatic and life-changing improvements seen in those participants who were deficient at the start of the studies. And here is the truly alarming part that should concern everyone watching. Current estimates suggest that between 50 and 70% of all older adults are walking around deficient in vitamin D without having any idea that their muscles are suffering because of it. Vitamin D works directly on your muscles through specialized vitamin D receptors that exist right on the surface of your individual muscle fibers. And when these critical receptors are not receiving adequate vitamin D, your muscles literally cannot contract with their full force potential. They recover much more slowly from any physical activity. And the type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers responsible for generating explosive power and preventing dangerous falls begin to atrophy at a significantly accelerated rate. Researchers at the University of Zurich demonstrated convincingly that older adults with sufficient vitamin D levels had significantly greater overall muscle mass, meaningfully better balance and coordination, and up to a 40% reduced risk of experiencing a fall compared to those with chronically low levels. And considering that falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death in adults over 65, this makes vitamin D deficiency far more serious than most people realize. What makes adding liquid vitamin D drops to your morning coffee so brilliantly effective is that vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it absolutely requires dietary fat present to be properly absorbed through your intestinal wall. And if you are already adding the MCT oil from #3 on this list, you have unknowingly created the perfect absorption vehicle right there in your coffee cup, waiting to carry that vitamin D exactly where it needs to go. The best approach is to add 2 to 4 drops of a high-quality vitamin D3 liquid supplement, which typically provides between 1,000 and 2,000 international units per dose, directly into your coffee after adding the MCT oil and then stirring them together so the fat-soluble vitamin molecules bind to the fat for maximum uptake into your bloodstream. Choose vitamin D3 specifically, which is the form called cholecalciferol, rather than the D2 form, because research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that D3 is approximately 87% more effective at raising and maintaining healthy blood levels of active vitamin D compared to D2. It is also wise to ask your doctor to check your current levels with a simple blood test called the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test, so you know where your baseline stands and can adjust your daily dosage accordingly under proper medical guidance. But the #1 addition is the one that truly changes everything, and the research behind it is absolutely extraordinary. #1, collagen peptides. Of every single thing on this entire list, collagen peptides are the most impactful addition you can put into your morning coffee for protecting and actively rebuilding muscle after the age of 60. And the scientific evidence supporting this claim is now so strong and consistent across multiple studies that it is fundamentally changing how researchers and clinicians think about muscle preservation in aging adults. A groundbreaking study published in the British Journal of Nutrition followed older men diagnosed with sarcopenia through a structured 12-week resistance training program and found that those who supplemented daily with collagen peptides gained significantly more lean muscle mass and lost significantly more body fat compared to those who completed the identical training without collagen. And the measured differences between the two groups were not marginal. They were dramatic enough to achieve high statistical significance, meaning the probability of these results occurring by random chance was extremely low. What makes collagen peptides uniquely powerful for aging muscles goes far beyond what most people assume, because while the general public thinks of collagen primarily in terms of skin elasticity and joint comfort, your muscles are actually wrapped in and structurally supported by an extensive collagen-based connective tissue network called the extramuscular matrix. And this intricate structural network degrades substantially with advancing age, essentially causing the scaffolding that holds your muscles together and transmits contractile force to progressively weaken year after year without you even noticing it. When you consume hydrolyzed collagen peptides, research conducted at the University of Freiburg demonstrated that the specific amino acids hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine are absorbed intact and preferentially directed to connective tissues, including this vital muscular scaffolding, actively stimulating your cells to produce fresh new collagen exactly where it is needed most. A separate study published in the journal Nutrients confirmed that collagen peptide supplementation meaningfully increased muscle protein synthesis, which is the actual biological process of constructing new muscle protein fibers in older subjects even without accompanying exercise, though the benefits were amplified significantly when combined with regular physical activity. The amino acid profile of collagen peptides also includes high concentrations of glycine and arginine, which together support natural growth hormone release during deep sleep improve blood flow to working muscles through enhanced nitric oxide production, and help reduce the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown in aging bodies. To properly add collagen peptides to your coffee each morning, measure one full scoop, which is typically 10 to 15 grams of a high-quality hydrolyzed collagen peptide powder, and stir it into your warm coffee until fully dissolved. And hydrolyzed is the essential detail here because this means the large collagen proteins have been enzymatically broken down into smaller peptide chains that dissolve easily without clumping and are absorbed rapidly through your digestive system. The wonderful thing about collagen peptides is that they are virtually tasteless and completely odorless when dissolved in hot coffee, so they will not alter the flavor of your morning cup in any way, and they mix perfectly alongside every other addition on this list, creating one comprehensive muscle-supporting beverage. Look for a product sourced from grass-fed pasture-raised bovine or wild-caught marine sources that specifies types 1 and 3 collagen on the label, as these are the types most directly relevant to muscle connective tissue and structural support throughout your body. So there you have it, 5 simple but remarkably powerful additions that can transform your ordinary everyday morning coffee into a muscle-protecting, strength-building, recovery-boosting drink that works specifically with your body after 60 rather than against it. You now have Ceylon cinnamon fighting the chronic inflammation that quietly destroys muscle tissue, raw cacao powder opening up your blood vessels so critical nutrients can actually reach your muscles, MCT oil providing clean, efficient fuel that your aging muscles can use immediately, vitamin D3 drops activating the receptors on your muscle fibers so they can contract with their full strength, and collagen peptides rebuilding the structural framework that holds your entire muscular system together from the inside out. Each one of these is genuinely powerful on its own, but combined together in your daily coffee, they create something truly remarkable that supports your muscles from every possible angle. Start adding them one at a time beginning this week. Give your body a few days to adjust to each new addition, and within a couple of months, you will absolutely feel the difference in your strength, your energy, and your confidence in your own body. If this information was valuable to you today and you want to keep learning how to stay strong and independent as you get older, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on those notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.